We are in here. We are in this bitch. What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You could be anywhere else, but you over here on my fuckery panel. No, I ain't a fuckery panel, but you over here on my YouTube channel.
Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah, that rhymes. See, I be freestyling, my brother. You dig what I'm saying? That right here. You know, we got my dude over here. We got Covert Radio over here.
Yo, what's up? Yo, no, and how you guys doing? It's nice to see everybody. And I'll tell you what, Mo, if I may, that intro is unbelievable. I never really heard that before. I guess because I'm not punctual. I'm not here early for that countdown, but man, talk about epic. That whole countdown is sick, man.
Yeah, I saw that. Like, hey, let me go ahead and get it. You know,
it's wide. It's a wide berth. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different things happening in that, but you know, I guess I'm partial to you know, symphonic type stuff, and I ever since I was young, like going to different symphonies and things like that. I don't know. Music is all, and I know this is everybody, but I mean, I've had music like crescendos like that and big, you know, swells of strings and percussion and timpani. I mean, I've had those crescendos actually make my head go numb. I mean, every hair on my body would stand up. So, yeah, that intro is pretty sweet.
I appreciate it, man. You know. Trying to do a little bit more upgrade, man, because I'm still on StreamYard right now. I'm trying to learn how to do the OBS and all that stuff. And
you just got to play it.
Shout out to the chat. What's up, AD? What's going on, Carolyn, Terry? I can't give everybody a shout out. So a bunch of people on here. We got Eric Elliott. What's up, Eric Elliott? Pure Rocker Steve, Terry, and PJ, and that's it. Whoever forgot, hey, forgive me. Still love y'all. John in the house. Of course, John.
What's up, everyone? The crew, you know what I mean? It's good. It's a good solid crew. It's all you need.
Yeah, that's
it. All you need. Some loyal people. That's it. And we all, you know, get on the same page and throw that link around and share ideas. You know, that's the key thing is communicate, because you know the powers that be, man, they're doing all they can to stop this.
Man, I haven't talked to you since the fuckery, man. Since the election, I haven't talked to you since then, and you got a lot of stuff to say. And they would call you conspiracy theorists, but they would call you that. But you come with the facts.
You know, yeah, that's it. That's it too, Mo. I have this thing that I've always said: just prove me wrong, please. I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe what's coming. I don't want to think about it. But just prove me wrong. If you find the information, if you understand the last several decades that we've all been alive, and you know the flow of where this is going, I mean, it's pretty damn obvious at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We are at the beginning of the end, for real. Like there's no question about it. And sadly, you know, I don't see it stopping. It's just not going to stop.
Exactly.
You know, and I don't know if it's because people don't want it to stop, or people were too consumed, or, you know, there's just some weird, like, you know, people have become content and they're like blissfully ignorant to everything that's going on. Just they're content and they're blissfully ignorant. They don't pay attention to what's happening to the food. They haven't for the last 10, 20 years. They haven't paid attention to what's being sprayed on everything, you know, until the last 10, 20 years. They let the TV tell you what your medical problems are. Talk to your doctor about this, buy this, get this pill, that pill. Like, people are just ignorant, man. They're blissfully asleep, and they can't understand what's being perpetrated against them, against me, you. You know, they're sitting there with their 65-inch, 4K Black Mirror dum-dum box, and they're just like, oh, yeah, everything's great. It's not great. It's not great. It's not great. You know, it's the same thing with cows in the slaughterhouse. You know, they found out many, many years ago that if they can, you know, calm the cattle down, which, you know, and I was gonna maybe possibly try to get into this, but I don't want to get this video flagged or whatever. But if you guys know anything about Latin, the Latin root of vaccine, which is vaca, means cow. So when they take the cows to the slaughterhouse, a lot of the big ranchers, the big farmers out west, they've noticed that they're playing Bach, they're playing Beethoven, they're playing, different symphonic music and blasting it over loudspeakers. And what they figured out is that it calms the cows down, and they don't even understand they're about to be slaughtered. Because when the cows are actually worked up, when there's a lot of motion or confusion, there's a lot of adrenaline that spoils the meat. So the calmer they can make the animal, the better the meat, the easier the kill. And that's exactly what's happening to us. That's exactly what's happening. We're being we're being led into the slaughter. And I know that's so cliche, but there's nothing truer. There's nothing truer at this point. They literally stole the election and nobody is doing anything about it.
There's nothing they can do. We are like sheep to be slaughtered. If you go look in the word, we are like sheep to be slaughtered. We are like that. We I mean, real talk. Let's go slaughter a sheep. Let's do this. I mean, we better wake up. I mean, we better recognize. Go ahead, Covert. I know I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to say this on a personal note, Mo, that and I ain't trying to really offend anybody or whatever, but I want to give you, as long as I've watched you and listened, I just want to give you a perspective of what's happened, what appears to me is happening with you recently, per se.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could just see, like, I feel like, well, let me put it this way. I prioritize people's words. I've always been like that. I give the highest priority to what people say. I don't care what they look like. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they're white, black, yellow, orange, brown. It don't matter. I prioritize people's words because, to me, words lead to actions. They always have and they always will. It's, people can disguise that, but, your words will lead you to action. And, technically, I mean, I guess you could kind of get it twisted, like words lead to actions. I mean, but any other movement could be like a reaction, like certain words can cause you to react instead of act. So, I mean, tomato there, but I prioritize words. You're either reacting to what somebody says, very rarely what somebody does, and until its emotions are involved. But it all stems back to words. Even if you react to somebody emotionally, 99% of the time, it's gonna be caused by words. And I've seen hate, Mo. I've seen a lot of weird, unhealthy, unproductive hate boil up on your platform. And I don't. I said this the other day in the chat. I don't know if you've seen it or not. And even when all this was going on with what's his name, I said you're better than this, dude.
Yeah, I know that. I know that you said that. People tell me you're better than that, Mo. And then sometimes I do listen. You know what I do? I do listen and say, you know what? I'm better than this. And then a lot of times I would go to sleep and dwell on it and wake up next morning like boom, 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 boom.
Right? Yeah.
Fuck that. No, he don't know. He did. No, he did. And I would try to be calm. I try to be cool. Then sometimes it's sinking my, it goes in my veins. I go in like, no, I got the last laugh over here. I get like that.
I mean, I know it's under your control, dude. You can ban, block, shut it down, not even have open panels. And I'm not saying you're not in control of the situation, but your title of our conversation here, there's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, under the sun.
There's a playbook. And this playbook has been used time and time and time again, all the way back to the Romans. And I can see that this level of hate that's starting to bubble up here, I know where it goes. I'm a massive fan of history. I read constantly. And I feel like this platform here, your voice, your conservative, right-leaning voice, I just feel like it's being hijacked. It's being hijacked by hateful people, and there are racists involved now. There are people that just hate one side or the other side. And it just seemed like for a while there, it was like night after night, these conversations just they kept turning up. The heat kept turning up, and eventually it would go to race. And the sickening part about this, and why I keep screaming because I mean, eventually I leave because I can't take it, but I kept this, this is exactly what they want. This is exactly what the playbook is: race, tribalism,
Yeah. Yeah.
divide,
Divide.
destroy unity, destroy peace, continue to destroy, divide. And we have never been more fractured in America, really. And this just isn't America, but we have never been more fractured than right now. And I know you're better than, and it's not you, it's even people involved here, to be swept up in this, like, this form of warfare that is handed to us on a silver platter. Yeah, be racist. Yeah, fight about race. Yeah, whatever Gunner said about, only white people can allow black people to be conservatives. I mean, dude, that is such a loaded pile of shit. And I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's that? Would you?
No, that's why I got triggered. That's all triggered.
Sure, dude. Yeah, I know.
Only white people.
Yeah, that's. I mean, but that's bullshit.
Bullshit.
Dude, everybody here knows that. Your core people, we all know it. But then you have other people just every night. They can't wait till that link drops. And then it's almost, like I said, it's almost like your platform's being hijacked by hateful people. And I don't understand why people can't remember that, the history we've been through, or even, align the history that we've been through, and understand that this fight with race is never gonna go away. It's never gonna stop. It's never gonna go anywhere. We have to rise above that, and we have to overcome that, because it is constantly used against us. I've seen where this level of hate can go, and I've seen the level of manipulation that is used to change people. Just like even Biden was saying, if you don't vote for Biden, you ain't black. Like, just simple, stupid statements like that have millions and millions of people fooled, and they have them under control, dude. And that's why nobody's in the streets. Nobody's talking about this, the stolen election. Everybody's just going to keep on moving. Oh, it'll work out. Oh, it'll work out. It is not going to work out. This is the start of it all. And I kept saying the other day, I was screaming ID 2020, Agenda 2030. This is not in the shadows anymore, dude. You can go straight to the United Nations own website, and you can read their document, Transforming the World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And in there, then in this agenda, dude, is nothing but what's happening right now. This C-19, or whatever people want to call it, it is the beginning of the end of sovereignty. It's the beginning of the end of Christianity. It's the beginning of the end of spiritualism and nationalism.
Yeah. What happened? Out of background.
But I'm just saying, dude, being fighting about race, or fighting about this, or arguing about, I know there's some other people that come on here that's like, well, blah, 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 white this. And I mean, that's 30 levels below where we need to be. And just, what's that, bro?
I got bad feedback. Oh, it's cool now.
Okay. But I mean, even if people would just think back to, say, like Dr. Martin Luther King, his last couple months on Earth, and the events that led up to his assassination. Again, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that's happened this past spring and summer, all the riots, everything, this and that. If you want to look back through history, look at the summer of 1967 into 68, when Martin Luther King was assassinated. They called it the long hot summer of 67. There was about 200 race riots, and it was spread all the way across the country. Everywhere there was riot after riot. June, July, August, September. They went just on and on and on, all the way until Martin Luther King's assassination. And the sickening part about this, dude, this whole thing with Floyd and you know, the whole thing with the riots, and you know, then you have the provocateurs, Antifa, trying to get in with BLM. They've already run this play. This play was ran in 1967 and 68.
Mm-hmm.
This already happened. This whole thing with George Floyd that has gotten us to where we
That's
are.
what I said. Yes, go ahead.
Especially with race relations, it's the exact same thing that started all of the events with his assassination, the assassination of Dr. King. I mean, you know, even if you were, nobody even remembers this stuff because either you're too young or you just weren't paying attention. But if you remember all of this, King went to Memphis to help the sanitation workers. All the black men, they went on strike, all the sanitation workers, because they weren't getting equal pay from the white men. They weren't given and that, dude, this is after the civil rights movement was already assigned and whatever, but they weren't getting the same uniforms. They weren't getting equal pay and whatever. So King went down there to show solidarity. He went down there to march and have peaceful social disobedience, or whatever he called it, civil disobedience. While they were marching, a bunch of hoodlums, which you could relate to Antifa today, a bunch of hoodlums ran down the street, start busting windows of all the stores, catching shit on fire. The same exact playbook. There's nothing new under the sun. But the reason I say that is because it keeps bringing us to where we're at. And people still want to maintain this level of race and hate and blame this one and blame that, while our country is being stolen from right underneath of us. Nationalism is being put in a trunk and dropped in the ocean, and we're being turned into a communist, socialist, tyrannical utopia that's ran by digital oligarchs, to the point where we even have to watch what we say anymore because they may silence us. I could say one wrong word right now, and there is a robot, an algorithm listening to us to shut this down.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's just sitting around like, but the last thing we need is to keep inflating these race problems and, division of race and division of, division of race. I mean, there's really, dude, I call it tribalism. That's what I call it.
Tribalism.
Yeah, I call it tribalism because, say that again.
Which been happening, tribalism. Nothing new.
Always.
Tribalism.
And they've taken football away from us. So we still need to feel that sense of tribalism. They've narrowed. They're trying to get everybody to fall onto race. They've taken football away. They've taken sports away. That fueled a lot of the tribalistic needs of men for many, many, many years. So they take all that away. They put us in a house under house arrest. Can't talk, can't do this, can't go to church, there's no gyms open. You can't get the steam off. You can't get the stress out of you. You can't go to the gym. You can't sing at church. So what are you going to do? Oh, you're still allowed to be racist. So that's what a lot of these conversations are turning to on these open platforms. They don't get shut down. You notice JB Gunner dude, I remember, that dude's nothing new to me. I remember dealing with him with Sotomayor. And he went as far as to say he's going to, Sotomayor needs to be drugged by a truck and hung up on a tree, and Sotomayor needs to be lynched. I mean, he just went on and on and on and on. N-word this, N-word that, day after day after day. And he never lost his channel. But you sit here and you talk about nationalism, or you say that there are, tenured doctors that don't agree with what these scientists are saying, and they shut you down.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you, dude? I mean, that tells you that there's a script, there's a play happening. And speaking of script and play, I mean, if anybody can't see that the stealing of this election was a complete control, a completely written script, then you don't understand what Agenda 2030 is and ID 2020 is. Because if we have ID 2020, There is never in the future of ever any democratic elections, there will never be this level of chance for election fraud. And they're going to use that as a selling point for ID 2020. There's no going to be how are you going to steal election if you get one vote and your ID is tracked digitally? How is that going to happen? So what better way to give an answer? Oh, yes, this election, and we're never going to have this again. This will never happen again for the future of the democratic elections, free elections. This will never happen because everybody will have ID, their digital ID, their digital tag. So there's no chance of, oh, well, this dead person voted, this cat voted, this dog voted. This is all a buildup. This is all part of the script. If we as the cattle, the vacs down here, if we really believe that somebody like Trump or somebody like Biden actually represent our needs, desires, and wants, then you're so far lost that don't even pay attention to what we're saying. Because everything that's happened is all about the real ID 2020, the mark of the beast, the digital microchips. And I could give you guys hundreds, I mean, literally tons and tons of examples of how this is all relating to C19. This is the catalyst. This is the hydrogen that's added to the peroxide or the whatever the baking. I mean, this is the catalyst. C19 is the Trojan horse that's going to overwhelmingly bring all of this in. And we're talking about literally the power grabs like we just witnessed, the power grab that we just witnessed, the attempts to silence the church, the attempts to silence people, all these big anti-Semitic actions now where if you say this, then you're that, and you won't get a government contract in the state of Florida or Texas, which is real. And we've talked about that before, but it's fake is the new real. I mean, fake is the new real. There's no getting around what's coming. There's no getting around. It's a convergence. C19 is the convergence. And for decades and decades and decades, anybody who has been paying attention, even a little bit, you will know that the global government is nothing new. The one world, new world order, whatever you want to call it. Now it is here. Now we're at the convergence. Now they have the catalyst. We've willfully given up control of our food. We've willfully to Monsanto and huge corporations. You'll go to Walmart to buy your food. Nobody plants gardens. Nobody knows about medicine. You watch your mirror so you can learn what new drug you need for new ailment that everybody has. We've lost total control of our lives. We've willfully given it up. We're never going to be free again if this is allowed to happen. Inaugurations in 33 days. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll tell you right now, and we talked about this a little bit before, Mo, that, I was watching Millennial Millie not too long ago, and, she was at the last big rally in DC, and it was just, the first one they had, there was several 100,000. Now this one, there's even less. There's like 100,000 or 200,000. That's the nails in the coffin. Everybody knows it's over. And it seems like nobody cares. So we're going back to the next thing, which is race. We are being controlled by people who do not have our best interest in mind. We are being controlled by people who have technology that's going to silence us, that's going to track us, that's going to enable us to fly, use public transportation, speak on the internet, vote in elections. This is all like this. Can you hear this? Hear it? This is all knocking on the door right now. We're getting to a point where we're basically almost not even able to discuss this.
Yeah.
We're almost at that point right now. And what happens after that? Once you can't even talk about it anymore, then what?
Hell, got this. I'm looking at the chat room. Go ahead, bro. I'm just in the chat room.
I don't understand why people can't put the race down. I don't understand why you don't know the oldest playbook in the history of civilized civilized society. I don't understand why people don't get the playbook of the, destroy unity, keep them separate. And I've always said this: politics and Republican and Democrat and left and right and this and that, all that is just a means to keep us separated. It's not for them. They got the money, they got the connections. It's all the big boys up on top. They're all, they all know what the deal is, but they got to keep playing this script to keep us separate. And dude, that's the same exact thing. Again, I talked about MLK before. That is almost identical to what happened after Martin Luther King got killed. Their whole thing, because if you remember, Martin Luther King, right, I think it was 2 or 3 days before he got assassinated, he had one of the, this was another big rally in Memphis, but he promised, dude, he stood there and he said that in April, which he died, I think it was April, the beginning of April 4th, at the end of April, they were going to have the biggest march of unity and solidarity that the world has ever seen. And they had it already planned. Everything was good to go. They were going to do it in Washington, D.C. And I'm telling you something, that scared the controllers to the point of they had to take him out, because that is their biggest fear. They do not want unity. They do not want peace. So everything that can be reinforced to stop that, the JB Gunners of the world, and I could name 20 more people in this circle, in this algorithmic prison on YouTube. I can name 20 more people that are allowed to keep the dissension going, to keep the separation going. Fan the flames, because they do not want us to come together. This is the oldest play in the book, and I just don't understand why people want to fall back to, it's the cause of the white man. There are too many blacks, like da la 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 la. It's just, why can't people understand that it literally is us versus them? And right now, the ID 2020 is so close to being a reality that they already have, and we talked about this before, Qantas, and I covered this on my channel when I talked about when COVID was just happening, and this was the spring, early summer. I said Australia is the testing ground of what they're going to do to the rest of the world. And if you find those videos on Covert Radio, they had massive apartment buildings, like projects. We're talking 30, 40 floors of apartments on top of each other, massive projects. They were locking entire buildings down. They had police at every entrance and exit in the building. You were under curfew. You could not move. So, and I said this then, I said that Australia is used as the testing ground to see what people, will put up with and what they won't. Well, fast forward to a couple days ago, Qantas come out, and the CEO of Qantas, which is the Australian airline, they said that if you're going to fly international flights on Qantas, it's mandatory vaccination. Mandatory vaccination. If you're,
so to work. Man, what's
dude, you just said it. That's they're going to start, once you say, well, that makes sense. If you're going to fly internationally, you must be vaccinated. Then they're going to say for international national flights, then travel. Then if you go to vacation or you go to the beach, you better get vaccinated. And then it's going to move to schools and work and this and that. They're not going to stop. Listen, dude. Bill Gates said, and I know this is not new news, but this is so part of the entire ball of wax. When he first initiated ID 2020, when he first started talking about this, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation pledged $10 billion, he called, the title of the article was A Decade of Vaccines. A Decade of Vaccines. That was the title of the press release from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And do you think they don't mean it? Do you, and here's what's crazy, dude. When Bill Gates stepped down, right after he stepped down, Microsoft filed a patent for basically it was a cryptocurrency system that used your body and your body activity. Right after Bill Gates stepped down from Microsoft, the board of directors filed a patent, and it was for a cryptocurrency system. It uses body activity data, all this shit. Okay. Basically, what that means is it's a cashless financial system connected to your body. A cashless financial system. They already have the patent, dude, and Microsoft owns it. Bill Gates is tied into all of this, all of it. And it's at first they're going to start with the smartphones. Dude, when this first started with C19, I wrote, and I'm looking at my whiteboard right now across the room from me. I have it. I'm reading it right now in big orange letters. Immunity papers, please. Immunity papers, please. Because I remembered reading back in World War II when the Nazis and the SS would stand on the corners and they would surveil the citizens. They asked for your citizen paper. Citizen paper, please. Proof of citizenship, please. And it's not, again, there's nothing new under the sun. It's all coming back around, except they're going to want your immunity papers. And they cook up this crazy, scenario for an election. So we're all like, well, yes, geez, I would never want this to happen again. You mean everybody in the world will have a digital ID and 10 years of vaccinations? Oh, well, that sounds great, because then nobody could steal the election from my Trump. Listen to me. 2016 scared these people beyond our understanding.
Like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. It scared them like a motherfucker.
Beyond our understanding, dude. They trembled at the thought of some. Listen, Trump is, again, I prioritize words. I'm only listening to the guy's words. I don't care how old he is. I don't care how fat he is. And when you can speak like every American, almost every American, the words that are falling predictively now, let's not get crazy. This is all predictive programming. Trump is reading this information from Tavistock and all these big think tanks. But they put it out there. Where are we at with this global government? Where are we really at with this? Let's bring Trump out. Let's have him say something like some dude would say in a bar somewhere. Let's get Trump out there. He could do this. He could pull this off. So he starts saying the words. He's prioritizing his words. He's saying the same words you're thinking, Mo. He's saying the same words I'm thinking. He's saying the same things millions and millions of people know. And it scared the shit out of them that so many millions of Americans believe that. They think that. And now they're like, we've never seen nationalism like this before. We thought flooding the borders, the drugs, we thought the television, all these things we control, we thought we had them. We don't. These people want America. They want to be sovereign. They don't want this global government. And it scared the shit out of the globalists, dude. And that day, after the first hour of his inauguration, they started working to reverse and destroy all of it. They need to remove that frame of thought from the equation. And they did, and they are. And they've done that before. They did it to JFK, except now they don't need to assassinate anybody, because they assassinate people with reality that they call media. Media. They control reality. So they don't have to physically assassinate somebody anymore. All they have to do now is unplug you, shut your Twitter down, shut your YouTube down, misquote you, don't give you any press coverage, take you off the television, stop you dead in the middle of a speech. Some reporter can say, oh no, we're going to cut the president's speech off right now. What he's saying is a lie. That's how they assassinate people now. The media assassinates you.
Medea, the media. I like the media, Medea.
Dude, Medea was a goddess. She was an enchantress. That's the other thing. A lot of our words are Latin. Pharmakia, is pharmacy, and it again, nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun. Medea was an enchantress. She, there's a whole story about her, and I think it was Hermes. This goes back to Greek mythology. But I say Medea always in my videos. I call Medea because that's what the media is named after. Medea, she was an enchantress. She was a goddess, a Greek goddess. And she was able to entrance people. She was able to kind of like hypnotize.
Medea wasn't the goddess? Go ahead, bro. I'm just being.
No, but she was able to hypnotize people and enchant them. You know, she was an enchantress. So, and her name was Medea. So that's where the word media actually stems from. Again, just like vaccine, it started with the smallpox or cowpox, literally for a cow. VACC in Latin is cow. It means cow. It's the same reason that they feed us corn when we go to the movies to watch their indoctrination. When we go and sit in a dark room, we are fed like animals. We eat corn. Corn with butter, corn with salt,
Mhm.
butter, sugar. So, like cattle, like animals, we are fed corn while we pay to be indoctrinated. Just like paying $200 a month for a cable bill, so
Mhm.
you could be sold medication and talk to your doctor about this. And were you prescribed blah blah 4 years ago for your tummy ache? Well, call our law offices if your arm fell off. You know, it's a joke, dude. That's a whole other topic in itself.
Right.
These pharmaceutical companies run it all, man. They run the doctors. You don't even get to see a doctor anymore. But the reality is they come up with some drug. It's all insiders in the FDA and DEA. They pass it and they know it's going to make people sick or it doesn't really work. And then they come up with a class action lawsuit. Call our law offices at 1-800. So here's what happens, dude. All these, several thousand, couple 100,000 people call our law offices. They call them. They agree to this class action lawsuit. You get a couple $100 4 years from now, and you're done. You can never sue this pharmaceutical company again. So what they've learned to do is the day they start selling a new medication, they open a fund just to feed for the class action suit. The what was their name? The Scheckler brothers did this. Who owned what was their pharmacy? It wasn't Merck. It was another big Procter, or no, wait, I forget. But the Scheckler brothers, the Jewish men who invented OxyContin, and they also owned Suboxone. Suboxone, they did this. They said that the America will be in a blizzard of white pills, and we were, and it's caused pretty much everybody I know to have massive addiction problems, heroin, pills, whatever.
Hey, hold on for a second. Carolyn said if you are posting Covert's channel, it's not showing up. Hey, don't worry about it, Carolyn. I just put it in the description box. If y'all want to subscribe to Covert Radio, go to my description box right up top. Y'all see it. I just put that link up there, and y'all subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right? Next. Go ahead.
Well, it was Purdue. And when you were saying that, I remembered it was Purdue Pharmacy. They're the two brothers, the Jewish men, are the ones that created OxyContin, and they poisoned millions and millions of people in America. They made billions and billions of dollars. And then when everybody came after them for causing epidemic addiction and death, they peeled off a couple million, few $100 million and said, here, divide it up. There you go. Hey, by the way, take our Suboxone because that'll get you off the other shit we made. It's a joke, but they do it almost with every medication now. Dude, if you watch TV, you will notice, and you got to really pay attention. Do you have headaches? Do you have this? Do you have that? You need to be tested for blah, 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 blah. Who is paying for this commercial? You're not trying to sell me a drug. You're telling me to go get a test. So I did this. If you follow every person or every company that's mentioned, there are big laboratories paying for these ads now because they want you to go to your doctor and say, I've seen on TV, if I have headaches, I need a test for this. Can you give me that test? They're like, yeah, we'll get it. They make money from the insurance. The lab makes money. Everybody makes money, dude. It's just, and you got to pay to be indoctrinated. You pay a cable bill to watch this shit, dude, to be told what you need and what you don't need and what you want. Dude, that's just like, and please give me your perception on this. Almost every single commercial I have seen in the last 3 to 4 months, almost every Christmas commercial, I have yet to see a white family. I have yet to see a white family. Every car commercial, every this commercial, Hershey has changed a commercial that's 40 years old it's the Hershey Kisses ringing like a Christmas tree. Dum 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 dum. I'm like, yay, that commercial. I was a little kid. Then this little black girl reaches out and she grabs the red one, and I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? So now all of a sudden, within 6 months, and thanks to George Floyd, in 6 months, they have literally changed everything. So now all of a sudden, and I'm just looking at this from a social standard. The Karens and the Beckys are the problem, and all of the black men and women and kids are the ones who are controlling commerce now. Is what it appears to be. And to me, I mean, I'm so offended by this, and I'm so, it's it's shallow to me, dude. It's so fake and shallow. I can't stand the corporate mind of like, oh, we got to hurry up and get black people in a commercial. Meanwhile, you have corporations hundreds of years old like Band-Aid and Procter and Gamble who couldn't even make a different shade of Band-Aid. All these hundreds of years, you could not make different shades of Band-Aids. If you were brown skin, whatever degree of melanin you had in your skin, it did not matter. You have to buy a tan, pinkish beige Band-Aid. Now all of a sudden you're gonna, I mean, why didn't it took something like George Floyd and a whole summer of riots and protests, just like 1967 and 8 all over again, nothing new under the sun, but it took all that for you to finally put a black person in a commercial or make a different shade of Band-Aid? Mm-hmm. Dude, this is so fake and shallow to me.
Fake as fuck. Hey, thank you, AD, for the super chat. You say I'll pay more, and he's definitely not giving me what I want. Next. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat.
And I followed this since the beginning of C19, where they're saying predominantly black people or dominantly black men. I read an article the other day that now for the majority of men, especially black men that may be diagnosed with it, they get erectile dysfunction now and all this shit. Like, where did all this come from, dude? In 6 months, we're talking about 6 months. 6, 7, 8 months. This is not off. This isn't new, dude. They've had this in the wings, ready to go. This is, there's an old adage called boiling the frog. It's painfully obvious at this point. I mean, painfully obvious that America is being overthrown. And I'm not just talking about physically. Our minds are being overthrown. Our morality is being overthrown. Our spirituality is being overthrown. And everybody's just sitting back and they're being mired in this crap of like 60-inch TVs to keep telling you what is and what is not okay. But it's painfully obvious we're being overthrown right now. But the boiling frog is like, if you have boiling water and you just throw a frog in the boiling water, he's just going to jump out. Frogs have strong legs. He's just going to jump out of the water. So what you have to do is put the frog in a nice cool pan of water, and you just slowly turn the heat up. You slowly turn the heat up. And next thing you know, the frog, he will not move after a while. He just stays in the boiling water. We are boiling right at this moment. This is, again, a decades-long push towards global governance, towards a centralized digital currency that's nobody's going to be able to get out of. There's going to be no underground currency. There's going to be nothing. Everybody's going to have their quantum dot technology, which, please do it all. Listen, you look up anything I've said. Listen to this again later tonight or tomorrow. Look it up. Quantum dot vaccine. Look up quantum dot technology.
All right.
This is brand new technology and it's coming to the surface. Wow, gee whizzikers. This would be good if we had to give to prove somebody might be vaccinated. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a coincidence. You mean that I could get this quantum quantum dot technologically savvy tattoo that is completely invisible? It can only be read with a certain spectrum of light, but it's something I can scan my hand, or a wand can scan my hand. It'll tell the person with the wand if I'm vaccinated, If I'm checking out at Walmart, again, they still keep shutting cash registers down. Oh, and the coin shortage, don't forget about that. Don't forget that C-19 stopped all coins being struck. We cannot forget that. And just like China burning in piles, burning all of their paper currency because it has the C-19. Well, geez, how convenient. How convenient this is all happening within 6 months. This is blowing my mind, the convenience of it all. So, just like this the VACCINE, just like that. You mean to tell me, again, I've said this in one of my own shows, there's no cure for cancer after 70 years. There's no, cure for whatever, poison ivy. Okay. There's no vaccine against poison ivy. But within 6 months, there's a brand new bat eating disease that shows up, and we have a vaccine for it. Come on. Please stop, people. Listen, we cannot stay in this sandbox that they're throwing us in, because we're all in the sandbox playing around, and we want to talk about race, and we want to talk about, well, the white man said this, and we want to talk about when Obama was president, or we want to talk about, washing feet, or blame Whitey, or the BLM, or whatever you want to talk about. This is their sandbox that they're putting us in. Next, they're going to lock the lid. We're already in the sandbox. We're already using the words they give us. We're talking about the topics they want us to talk about, and now they're going to lock us in it. We have to come together. We have to manifest the reality that we want. We cannot be divided by race. We cannot be divided by politics that none of us can even relate to. Can you relate to Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, spending $1,000 a day on crack and making $80,000 a month paychecks from some oil company in the Ukraine, some gas company? Not one of us here that's ever going to hear my voice for the next 10 years could ever relate to that level. We are the ones that need to come together. We have to manifest the reality that we want. And when you start focusing your energy on race and hate and the JB Gunners and this and that and that and this and that and the BLM and Antifa and the Proud Boys and this, and when you start focusing on that, every night, we're forming the reality that they want us to form. We have to declare that we will not consent. We will not get a vaccine. You will not come into my house and check my family and, tracers and trace workers and all this. We have to keep visualizing what we want. We have to visualize what is best for us. And it is not Republican. It is not Democrat. It's not Trump. And it's not Biden. It's us. None of them represent us. All they do is say the words that they're told to say. And these come from think tanks like Tavistock and Harvard and all these Ivy League schools. I pray to Almighty God. I do not consent to what they're doing. I don't consent to it. These evil people, evil frequencies, they're destroying us. They're destroying our morality. They're destroying our children. They're destroying our health. They're destroying our minds. And now they're destroying our peace. We cannot consent.
We can't. They're taking away our peace, man. They're taking away people's childhoods right now. The childhood. It's like they gotta wear masks in school, man, right now.
You can't even see somebody else's face. You could walk past somebody you haven't seen in 20 years and you would never recognize them. You know how many times that's happened to me, dude?
Good Lord. I know it happened to me. And we got to pay attention, man. What they're trying to do, they're trying to take our humanity away. They're trying to take our integrity and dignity away.
Exactly, Mo. They're taking it all away. They don't want men. They don't want strong men. They don't want capable men. They don't want intelligent men. They don't want men that's ever going to challenge what they're creating. They don't want that. They want pansies. They want weakness. They want emotionally triggered, drug addicted, effeminate man boys.
Yes.
Who are
boys. Oh, I'm flag for that, but it's all right.
Dude, they're terrified.
Word, man boys.
They're terrified of real life. So what do? They sit in a dark room with their Xbox and their, Fortnite, and they sit there in a completely different reality, and they achieve things. They drive a car down the street. Hey, I got a $1 million Bentley in my garage. It's Grand Theft Auto. You have a bicycle with a flat tire in reality. You do not have, but your brain doesn't know the difference. Your synapses fire the same way as you would if you're driving a real Bentley. These people are secretly terrified, and they don't understand the reality that's being strung all about them and all around them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, I could give you tons of examples. Silencing the church should have been, that should have been one of the biggest red flags that people's like, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. These the false and contradictory information on the news. It's going to snow 7 inches in the next 24 hours. You get up and there's sunny blue skies. That's on purpose, dude. They want people to be like, didn't they say snow or what? Like, what's going on here? It's just the geopolitical developments and places that don't get snow, places that always get snow, it's hot. It just goes on and on and on again. Dude, this is a decades long push. They've been setting this up for decades, and they're not going to stop now. They have their foot to the metal, to the gas pedals. And dude, here's the sick part. They're going to use many different vehicles to get there. They're going to use Bible prophecy. Like, I could talk about the mark of the beast. That's exactly what quantum dot technology is. That's exactly what when Microsoft's board of directors found the patent after Bill Gates stepped down. They found, like I said, the international patent for the cryptocurrency system that uses your body, to even run. Like, your body's used as the battery. It uses the data and everything, which again is a cashless financial system. I could talk about that. That's the mark of the beast. They're going to use Christianity. They're going to use many different vehicles to get us there. Even Nostradamus or aliens. It's going to be the aliens that are going to tell us. They're going to come and be our savior and say, if you're going to go to space with us, you need a one world government. That's what's going to get us to space. And I even said this, dude, Bigfoot may walk out of a cave one day and say, here I am. And he's going to have an NWO t-shirt on and be like, oh my God, Bigfoot is real. Look at him. Look, and he has an NWO shirt on. They're going to cover every basis: religion, science, crypto, biology, all these different things. In Egypt, we dug down under the fourth pyramid, and it said in 2020 this is going to happen. They're going to use it all, dude. They're controlling our destiny every single day.
Mm-hmm. They're controlling that. That's what they're doing. And we got to recognize that. If we don't recognize that, man, this country is going to hell in a handbasket. Matter of fact, not this country, this world is going to hell in a handbasket.
They're destroying our unity, dude. They're destroying it. These people, like, and the morality too. I've talked about that. There was in the New York Times. If you remember when all C-19 started, it was like normal. They were talking about this on the 6 o'clock news, like it's normal. Pornhub is giving away free subscriptions to their website. Pornhub is. So that's on the 6 o'clock news, and I have to explain to my young boy what Pornhub is, which already, these young kids, they all know. But that's just the point where they're normalizing the immorality of it all. I could talk about that for 10 hours straight, but they keep demoralizing us. Now, about a week or so ago, in the New York Times front page, Pornhub is under investigation for a genre of pornography
So,
that
so
shows.
people have never. I'm gonna say this. Uh, people don't. People that watch the porn, most people that watch porn have jacked off over it. No one watches porn to watch popcorn. No one watch porn to eat popcorn. People watch porn to jerk the fuck off. You watch a porn by yourself, guarantee you're gonna jerk off. You're gonna jack
Dude,
off. I'm gonna say it like that. Go ahead.
it's a weapon, Mo. It's a weapon. That's why it's
Porn gonna
free.
jack the fuck off. Let's be honest.
That's why it's free. It's a weapon.
Porn if you watch it.
It's a weapon. That's exactly what porn is. That's why it's free. That it destroys marriages. It destroys peace of mind. It makes men sexual deviants, complete sexual deviant, and it makes young girls confused because they watch porn and they think, well, geez, if I let Jimmy pee on me, he might look how they like that. Look how much that girl that must be what men want to do. That must be normal, and it's not. It's the most filthy, degrading, immoral, sickening, normalized means of warfare that is plaguing just about every male, and many 72% of all females at this point is the recent stat. 72% of females now watch porn too. And when you're seeing certain things go in certain places that should only go in the sleeve of a jacket, that I don't care who you are, it's going to dent your brain, and it demoralizes you, and it keeps opening new gates and new depths of just like disgusting
And
level
it's
of
free.
humanity.
And it's free. Back in the day, people used to go to Blockbuster, not Blockbuster, or corner store video place to rent porn. Now it's free. You can just Google up shit.
Dude, it's free because it's a weapon.
You can Google hamster and find a porn. Google a hamster, and you got a porn site. Hamster. Poor little kid be looking. I want to see what I do with my hamster. They look up hamster. It's a fucking porn site called Hamster.
Dude, I uncovered that on YouTube. I did a video about 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I called it YouTube's Dirty Little Secret. And I documented how you can go to YouTube and search like flying a kite, and next thing you know, you see a 6-year-old boy in his underwear. And then I discovered this pedophile utopia that's hidden in plain sight right on YouTube. It's just right, but you have to know how to get there. And once you're there, it's just unbelievable, dude. And what's sickening is the mothers and the fathers that put their little girl, or in a little bikini that's 2 sizes too small, and then have her do gymnastics, and they film it and they upload it to YouTube. They get 1 or 2 million hits and they're monetized, and everybody wonders, geez, gymnastics of an 8-year-old girl must be pretty popular. There's 2 million hits on this video. Well, they're cashing these checks. So they're literally pimping out their kids. Yeah. This was the initial cause of the apocalypse, the first one. But I covered this before the apocalypse, dude. And I called it YouTube's Dirty Little Secret. But again, back to the pornography, it all coincides. It's all in the same vein. It is used to control people, to keep men weak. Mo, go 1 week. Go 1 week without, you know what I mean. Go 1 week and see how you feel that Sunday. And then go 2 weeks and see how you feel. By the 3rd week, you're literally going to be ready to rip doors out of their frames, because you're just going to have so much testosterone and angst build up. But see, they don't want that. Again, they want man boys. They want weak boys. They don't want strong, capable men. They want pansies that are draining their fluids, their salt every single day, 2 to 3 times a day. They're weak, they're emotional, they're addicts, they're effeminate, they're man boys, and they are deviants. And they're
give me a second. Who just timed out Booker Dog, man, for its opinion, man? I mean, I don't know if he said anything wrong. Someone timed him out, man. I saw the comment. It said Global Plantation. Did he get timed out for that comment? Come on, y'all. Y'all do better than that. Stop all this censoring. People got right for their opinion. Go ahead, bro. I don't know how that censoring.
It's changed our perception. It has changed our entire perception on what is normal. And there's so much evidence now that it destroys relationships. It's just there's nothing good about it. I mean, I quit watching porn about at least a year, maybe 2 years now. I don't watch it. I just won't do it. I've seen it all, dude. I've seen it all, and it's just I realize, like, oh my god, this is a weapon. This is a weapon, and I refuse to be under that control. And it's so bad, Mo, that it actually does create a serotonin drip in your brain. So there is a chemical reaction, because they've mapped men's brains of prior pornography watching and then right after or while they're watching it, and there's so much more activity in the brain. So these are the same sensors in your brain that what are they called? Not caps. I can't remember the technical name or the biological name, but these are the synapses. These are the same synapses in your brain that also get activated with like pain medication and certain other things. So it's like being addicted to opiates. People who are addicted to pornography, it is a real addiction that causes a serotonin drip in your brain. So that's the level that they have us under control. And dude, I've said this before, and I'm just going to say it this last time, and we don't have to talk about this. This is such a weapon that when what should I call them? The people in the middle, the ones in Israel, when those people infiltrated and started really destroying the Palestinians, one of the bigger cities that they went into, the first thing they did is hijack the media television station, and they started playing pornography on loop. And the only way you could not watch it is if you turn your television off. I'm saying the Palestinians.
Okay. Yeah.
So there you go, dude. That should tell you right there that it's a weapon, and they've known it's a weapon. And I'm sorry. Let me say this last thing. I've talked about this, and again, I could talk about this for 10 hours. There is a term for the warfare that this is. This is called androvicizing, is what it is. This is showing the white race being overthrown. If you look at pornography, any site you go to, 98% of the actresses are white women, and 80%, 70% are different races of men. So the people who control this level of manipulation and sorcery, what that is, it's called androvicizing. They're showing that the white race, the white women, have been conquered, because in warfare, the first people they attack are the women and the children. And I'm talking about evil, soulless, heartless Satanists, dude. The first people they attack are the women and the children. And that's what they've been doing through all the pedophile that's out in the world that we all know about. And that's what they're doing with all the free pornography that's out in the world. It's androvicizing. And just to show you how serious it is, dude, in World War II,
Okay.
when the Germans invaded France, the Nazi soldiers, the German soldiers that marched through France, some of the women, the French women, serviced them. They had dates with them. And I mean, France was under occupation, dude. I don't know how many years. They were under complete occupation. So we're talking years of nothing but basically German men around and Nazi soldiers and stuff. So there were French women that had sex with Nazi soldiers. After World War II was over, all of it started coming to light, and they found as many of the women they could that had sex with the German soldiers. They marched them down the street. They shaved their heads. They raped them, and a lot of them died. A lot of them were beheaded because of this. That is how serious it is when you come after a race of women. That is how serious it is. They knew that 60, 70 years ago, and somebody knows it now, because the only thing really you see in pornography is white women. That's it. It's improvising. So, yeah, we're at different levels of warfare here, dude. We're being attacked from all sides, all levels, all sides.
All levels, man. All sides, man. This is crazy, man. It's like I've never seen nothing like this in my fucking life. Dude, I'm 48 years old. I have never seen so much fuckery in my fucking life.
You know what they want you to do, Mo, is they want you to take down a few notches, fight with people like Gunner. You know, you'll get a bunch more viewers. They want you to tune out, man. They don't want you to get people to think. They don't want you to spread truth. They don't want you to do that. They'll reward you, you know, and I could talk about somebody else, but I hate to say his name, and I know there's people here that watch him and whatever.
Say his name. I don't care. You on my channel, dude.
Sotomayor, dude. I mean, this is one of the biggest frauds on YouTube, and he has so many people fooled, and he has the protection of YouTube.
We all know that.
He has their protection. I've covered this recently where, you know, I figured the loophole that he uses, and he has an agent assigned to him. They're not high level, but he is protected by YouTube. That's why he can get his channel taken down, and he'll have a new one in 5 minutes. That's why he can start off all new channels with $5,000-$10,000 or 10,000 subscribers. And just for anybody listening to this, you are aware that you can buy subscribers for your YouTube video. All you have to do is go to Google, go to Bing or wherever, and type in buy YouTube subscribers. There are 30, 40 companies just on that first hit, that first page, that are completely legitimate. You want 100 right off the bat, brand new channel, 100 real quick, boom, here's $5. You want 1,000, here's $20, and it just goes up from there. You want 5,000, you can buy views, you can buy subs, you can buy likes, you can buy dislikes, you can point somebody to another channel and just have them downvote videos, which is, you know, one way they silence a lot of voices like ours, Mo. You know, but they just have AI bots doing that now. They have chat bots. There's probably 1 or 2 chat bots here that are just trying to cause problems and talking about craziness to get, you know, the attention refocused somewhere else, get your brain focused somewhere else. But there are millions of chat bots out there. Look into the chat bots. You will never know you think you're talking and arguing with a person, and it's just a little script that's artificially intelligent. So there's so much
thing on Tommy, man. See, I think I came on his panel a couple of times, and last time he tried to corner me. It's like I couldn't get a fucking word in, so I like, no. I was talking about something. He kind of like turned the word around on here. Like, So I said, you know what? I will never hit that link for Tommy again. That's it.
Yeah, he thrives. See, I don't know if you know this, man, but Gunner Gunner was one of his biggest fans. And what happened one day is Gunner said to himself, you know what? I'm going to do what you do. Yeah. And he started his own channel and he started talking. And then, you know, he pulled a lot of Sotomayor's people over to him. So, and he'd make sure that he would go live when Tommy wasn't live. So, well, Tommy ain't on, so let's go watch, you know, Gunner. So they did. All the Soda Nation people went over.
And people go watch True Freeman. I be laughing at True Freeman with his cold drinking ass. Go ahead.
But he hijacked a lot of Sotomayor's people, and at first it wasn't a problem, but then, you know, to add to the drama in the viewership, they had this beef thing, and then it just escalated from there. And then, you know, but he poached a lot of Sotomayor's people, but he never even got into this until he met Sotomayor. But you know, I even hate saying his name, dude, because the fraud, the Soto Cruz, all the money he's stolen, the fatherless America, dude. I have 4 years almost of investigative, documented facts on this dude, and nothing will stick to him. And I finally figured out that it's because he has one of the account managers at YouTube that are protecting him. Because there was another guy recently in a different sector of YouTube. It's called the Boyt, the BOYT, the bottom of YouTube. He had his whole channel removed. Same exact violation Sotomayor has done 10 times. They took his channel. He started a new channel. They immediately shut that channel down. They said, as per the terms of service, if you are removed from our platform, you are not allowed to make a new channel. You are permanent. He couldn't, so they blocked his IP address. But how does people like, and I'm not picking on Tommy, but I'm just saying he is one of thousands and thousands of people that are towing this narrative. If you want to talk about race, if you want to be a racist, if you want to bash women, if you want to be a misogynist, if you want to, pull all the different lines that they want you to pull, then you're allowed to stay on YouTube. But if you talk about Christianity, or if you talk about conservatism, or you talk about anti-Semitism or any other thing, then bye-bye, we don't need you, go somewhere else. And they are training people what to say. They're training people how to speak. It's newspeak, just like the movie 1984. It's newspeak. Yeah, somebody said in the chat room, oh, yeah, newspeak. In 1984, dude, it's exactly what this is. And they had a whole new, way of communication. And CMO, that's why they're doing all of this digitally. This is, and I don't even want to get into this, but my opinion is this. I'm looking at my whiteboard, my big whiteboard. It's classroom size. And I'm reading it. And there's part of my whiteboard. Let me see. Oh, I have an idea for a show. I called it the Ink Show. And what I can see from here says, it talks about they want to hide the printed truth because they want to merge us into the motherboard. So, as a human, we live on Mother Earth. And I kind of talked about this before, but I haven't finished the show. We live on Mother Earth. We are people. We are humans. But they want us to live and work on motherboard. They want us to have digital identities. They want us to have digital avatars. They want us to have to use digital means of communication. They don't want us to live on Mother Earth. We're not allowed to vibe and feel frequencies. We have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. They're trying to destroy our human DNA through this new vaccine. And vaccination, like Gates said, 10 years of vaccination, 10 years of consistent degrading the human race, the human genome. And speaking of the genome, that's what 23andMe was all about. That's Google's family. One of the brothers or sisters, they're all married. Sergey Brin and I think his sister or son, they're the ones that own 23andMe. It's all Google. Google owns 23andMe. They're creating the Human Genome Project. And then all of a sudden, a brand new vaccine shows up. Or I'm sorry, a brand new disease. And it affects certain people this way, certain races this way, certain age groups this way. So how do you have all this data for signature diseases now? How? You've got it through the Human Genome Project that is controlled by Google, which is controlled by 23andMe. They have your spit, they have your DNA, they have your blood. And if you're a certain age, they've had it. They've had it when we were babies. They took a vial of blood and it's on file. So they're able to create, that's how they can create custom cures for custom people, because they have the genome. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I
let it all out.
Yeah, I feel like I'm dominating the conversation. I don't want to do that, dude. I don't.
You know what? I've been kind of like tired. I said I've been doing interviews these past 4 days. I've been doing this. I said, you know what? Let me go there and just let Covert talk. That's why this. Let you talk, and you can hold down the goddamn pan. Matter of fact, I'll just move you over here. Shit, like right you over here, man. See, I'm just over here letting you talk.
But dude, that all ties into my show, Mother Earth, Motherboard, because they don't want us to talk in person. They want us 6 feet apart. They want full surveillance. They want our genome. They want everything. So now we have to communicate online. We have to speak online. We're going to write online. And, just like Wikipedia, they for decades, again, this is a slow boil. They've been moving towards this global structure, this one central structure for many, many decades. It's not any new news that the public libraries have been in trouble for 20 years, 10 years. This one shuts down, this one consolidates. Now this city only has 2 when it had 10. So they keep consolidating the written word, the written proof, the infallible truth that can't be changed. I dare you to find an article on Wikipedia today and then look it up in 5 years and see how much it's been edited, how much it's been changed, how much has been redacted, how much has been added. That's digital enslavement through a digital technocracy, which is where we're going. Mother Earth, motherboard. They hate God. These people are Satanists. They're occultists. They want us to live on their earth, which is motherboard. And that's what all of this is leading to. That's why they want us to work from home. That's why they want you to, and I was just talking about this the other day with somebody. I said, I think it was Albert Einstein that had a quote that talked about, one of the worst, and I'm just paraphrasing. One of the worst things you could ever do is tie in your financial means with where you break bread. So what that means is one of the worst things you could do is work from home. Where you break bread, that should not be nowhere near connected to how you make money. That should not be connected to how you make a means. And there's no truer saying at all, because anybody who's worked from home will tell you it sucks. You never leave work. You're always at work, seemingly. You now associate a room in your house with all the headaches that you would normally have at work. A lot of people start off, well, I can't wait to work from home. Yeah, ask them all 6 months from the time they started working. They hate it, dude. They hate work, because you should not mix your income with where you break bread. You will never be able to relax.
Yeah, exactly. And read these damn comments over here. Yo. Police us can arrest you because neighbors think they're thought of. All right. Okay.
But Mo, like I was saying before, I wanted to really convey that I feel a move in your platform, and it just feels like it's getting away from who I know you are, and it's getting away from your powerful voice, and it's getting away from the way you've been able to analyze and discern, which discernment is everything in this.
It is. It's a discernment. Because I never deny that gift I have. It's a discerning spirit I have. I see through motherfuckers, and then I play dumb for like years.
Right.
I'm stupid, but I do play dumb for a while.
Yeah.
That's
smart, dude. That's like a cop will never tell you they know your line. You know what I mean? Like,
and I said, like, for real, dude. Damn, you the bomb, dude. See, I played the game.
Dude, that's why I always say you should. I don't talk unless I know what I'm talking about. I don't, because I've been so embarrassed for other people. Like, you're in a room and somebody's in there, and you're like, "So what do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm a music producer, and I do this and this." And oh yeah, tell me about that. Meanwhile, I've been involved for 25 years, and you don't know who's in that room. And the stupidest mistake you could make is talk about something that you know nothing about, or very little about. So, I've cringed. I've almost broken my own spine listening to people talk and talk and talk. And they have, they're either 10 years behind the curve, or they're just so rudimentary and they're just so uninformed. But you don't even have to read a book if you have the gift of discernment. And the only way, and I know you have it, Mo, and I've said that before, and the only way you get the gift of discernment is through God. There is no other way to get it. You have to pray for it. You have to ask God for it. You can pull tons of information from the universe. It's called the ether. It used to be the fifth element. It's so powerful they don't even talk about it anymore. Earth, wind, fire, whatever. But the ether used to be within those elements. That's where all knowledge comes from. It's right above us. It's all around us. And the only way you can discern is if you have the gift, and you have it. And like I said before, I started feeling that your platform, your nature, your discernment, it's being hijacked by people that do not deserve the ability to stand on this platform and speak about things they either trying to spread hate, or they're trying to spread disharmony, or they're trying to create division. That is the most important thing right now, is we cannot continue to destroy unity. I mean, the level of control and hate and just this racism I see creeping in, here, I'm saying here, there's no winning this, Mo. Nobody will. No, nobody's ever going to win the argument of race.
Nobody is never. You're right, brother.
It's never going to stop, though. And there are people that will devote their entire life to it. They devote all of their energy to, like, I watch. I don't watch. I clown Umar Johnson. You know what I mean? And dude, there's nobody winning that racist or racism argument. Nobody's going to win it. And all I know is this: because he's another crook too. Everything he does when he gets called out or he gets caught up, 99% of the time he'll be like, and when I was going to buy that school in Detroit, and I offered the brothers $500,000, and if they'd work with me, for the remainder 800,000, they were going to do it. And here's what he does. But their white lawyer stopped from all that from happening. I mean, I had that in motion. We'd have had our boys' school and everything, but the white lawyer that they have, and then there was something else he was involved in, and then he was like, but the white judge, blah 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 blah, and he brings. So Umar Johnson constantly plays, and I've said that even about Sotomayor, that they use the race card constantly to their advantage, and because that is such a core, hateful, touchy subject for millions and millions of people. But at the end of the day, nobody's going to win. Nobody's going to win that argument. There's no getting people to see. All you can do is put the racists on their own channel. That's it. Go be racist over there. Here we discuss ideas. Here we discuss unity. Here we discuss what's coming, what's in the future. Yeah. Here we discuss solutions. We want to change what's happening. I don't want you, at least, brother, my brother Mo, I don't want you to get mired into this shit, dude, because it goes deep, and people like Gunner
themselves shit.
Gunner will drain your soul, dude. Gunner will drain your soul. Like these people have the power and the principalities of pure evil.
Principalities. Okay, I can see on the principality, but you just said principalities. Yeah, I already know.
Pure evil, Mo. These guys are pure evil, and they don't care. They have nothing to lose, and if they gain 2 subscribers or somebody to give them $10 a month, that's all they care about. They don't.
I never come for people unless they come for me. Never. I sit there, man, my business. And I was like, hold on, someone making a video about me. Right. And then I get tons of people that more ignore it, man. And I do. And all of a sudden, I just like dwell on it for a second. Like, man, fuck you. I get crazy.
Well, in when I was really pumping content out, in which I'm about to get back to that here soon, but when I was really pumping it out.
Why you don't do live stream? I'm gonna get on that later. You never do that.
I'm going right after Christmas. I already, there's so much shit going on, but I'm, and Mo, that's the other thing too. I'm looking at what I've done the last 3 months, and I'm selfish. I knew what was coming. I knew in 2016, one of my videos on another channel was, what are you going to do when Hillary Clinton steals the election? I was 4 years too soon. But that is my discernment, dude. That is my discernment. And on that same channel, I also talked about, the whole prepping movement and the whole hoarding and food. And this was 5 years ago. I was warning people, do not store all of your food and ammo and whatever you have. Don't store it in one place. Hide it. Have it in. And this is why. Because if you know history, there's nothing new under the sun. When the Nazis were invading Russia, they had an operation called Operation Barbarossa. And the way these small little, the Germans thought they were just going to walk straight into the center of Moscow. They said, no problem. It's middle of winter. We're going to walk right in there. We're going to rape, pillage, plunder. We're going to have no problems at all. Long story short, The Russians cut off the supply lines. So when you have a moving army, you have to have moving petrol, gasoline, food, water. You have to bring it all with you. There's no Walmart in 1935. The food people had is what they grew and stored on their shelves. That's what they had. So, in a declaration of pure evil, again, they go after the women and the children. Every little village that the German Nazis went through, they raped and killed and murdered and stole the food from all the women and children because the Russian men were off fighting other invading Germans fronts all across the theater of war that was happening all around Moscow. So all the women and children were left in their villages, in their huts, in the dead of winter, potatoes and some canned goods on the shelf. And this is completely evil, dude. The Germans marched and they took, and yes, we'll take that. Yes, give me that. Here's 10 pounds of potatoes. We'll take this. We got that. And they killed them. More people, millions and millions of people starved to death, dude, in Operation Barbarossa because of what the Nazis did. They stole the food from the people, and it was mainly because their supply lines were cut off. The Russians destroyed their railways, their highways. They destroyed it all. They couldn't get food out to the German soldiers. And I said, these people will never make that mistake again. So what did they do? They trained us to store food so that when the UN comes in another year or 2 or 3 maximum, when the UN is here, and dude, it might even be as soon as 35 days because we still don't know what they have planned for Inauguration Day. We still have no clue what's going to happen because just like Martin Luther King, dude, and the kids that were destroying all the businesses, just like today, the kids, the Antifa that are destroying all the businesses and the people that get things started, is the same thing they have planned in the next 35 days. Another group of people is going to start something, but I do know this. The UN will be on these streets eventually. It could be in 35 days, 35 weeks, or 35 months. Either way, the UN will be on these streets. We're surrounded, currently surrounded. All borders were surrounded. So what's going to happen when these troops come in who don't speak English? See, in your area, I don't know if you've ever paid attention, but again, this is decades in the works. Decades ago, they started the belt system. They started the belt system where you may have an orange belt in your area, you may have a blue belt, a black belt. These are certain road systems that are, can get you to a same location. It's called the color belt system. They have this in most states. So the reason they did that is for foreign troops, because all they have to do, can you read the color orange? Yeah, follow the orange signs. That'll get you to this major city or this airport. Follow the blue ones. That'll get you to a hospital. This has been in prep for many decades, Mo. And when these troops come, they're not going to have to worry about supply lines because every house they go to or every third house they go to will have an ample supply survival buckets. Because, dude, if you pay attention, again, still the people that are on YouTube, like, what's his name? I can't stand him. Boston. What's his name? Richie. Hey, this is Richie from Boston. Hey, this is Richie from Boston. Hey, there's going to be a trucker strike, but go ahead and send me another $500. And by the way, I sell food, so make sure you get all these people sell food. They sell food. But they're allowed still to be on YouTube. But Richie from Boston tells the truth. He tells you what you want to hear. He tells you what's coming. Richie from Boston talks a lot of fear porn. He doesn't talk reality and truth. He talks fear porn. That's why he's allowed to be on YouTube. And he sells food because the plan is when the UN gets here, and there's foreign troops who don't even speak English, and they're following the colored belt systems, they're going to be able to go to just about any house, and they're going to get their food supplies. They're going to get their water supply. They're going to get their ammunition, their extra guns. They're going to get everything we've been tricked into storing up. Dude, when they started this whole movement, which was like 10, 12 years, 15 years maybe now, of like, survival this and Survivor. Well, Survivor, man, he's cool. I've talked to Les Stroud actually, but the different like prepping shows and this and that, they glorified the prepping craze. And I knew something was wrong when I walked into my local Walmart and there was a stack of plastic pails that was a 30-day food or 3-month food supply. It's selling them in Walmart. You didn't even walk 10 feet into the door yet, and they had a whole pallet stacked up of emergency food supply, 30-day food supply. Like, I knew right then and there, oh my God, man, we're being manipulated into feeding an invading army. That's what the whole prepper movement is. That's what all of this survival food is. We're being trained at our own expense, at our own money. And how do you know it's not for contact tracers? Maybe it's not the UN in the next 35 to 3 months or 3 years. Maybe it's not, but they already have the law established. It's House Bill. What is it? It's a crazy, it's House Bill 6666. I remember House Bill 6666. If you don't believe me, go to congress.gov right now and look for HR Bill 6666. That is a bill that was proposed to Congress that allows the contact tracers to do COVID-19 testing at your house, and they can remove people from your house. They can implement quarantine at your house. They can take you out of your house and remove you to another location. Look on congress.gov. Look up House Bill HR 6666. So, but back to what I was saying, how do you know they don't want to keep contact tracers out in the field 3 months at a time, 2 months at a time, 6 months at a time? And all these people are, you're not coming to my house, you're not taking my kids. Well, it's going to be a war zone. It's going to be war in the street. But guess what? They're not going to have to worry about supply lines. They're not going to have to worry about fresh food and water because, again, we've been manipulated to feed an invading force.
Yes. Real talk. Dad's here. I be watching the chat room. Dad's here, Mo. He went too far. Called me. You always come back to him. Let's stop it. Yeah, y'all kiss and make up. All right. Go ahead.
Who went too far? Me.
No, RBR. No, RBR. That's RBR's co-host. Now they beefing right now. I said, that's y'all shit.
Oh. I was gonna
say, RBR.
Yeah. I know. But I thought they were saying yeah.
They always get into it. They'll be back. I don't get into that shit. They are all the drama.
Yeah, I thought they were saying I went too far, but I mean, dude, I don't.
I'm looking at the chat room like, God damn it.
Yeah, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. And again, I was saying how selfish I am. For the last few months, I've literally just been ignoring everything. I've been ignoring it all. I can't stop my discernment, and I can't stop, thinking and filtering, but at the same time, I haven't been every other day, every 2, 3 days, 4 days a week, just upload. I just been selfish. I needed to decompress, but we're so close, man, that I feel like I need to talk till I'm taken off. I mean, I've almost lost Covert Radio once. Hey, that's why I want to develop. And I'm not going to get into this. It's boring, but I really want to develop the website. I have been ignoring that. Get my stuff up on covertradio.com, which I've been, dude, I just have what do they say? It's too many, you have too many pans on the stove or something. That's me. I have like 10 pans on the stove and I only have 2 hands. I'm like frying eggs over here. I'm cooking beans. I'm making chili. I'm doing this. I'm making souffle in that pan.
I'm making chili tomorrow. It's my cheat day tomorrow on my diet. So tomorrow I'm doing some chili.
Oh, I love chili, dude. I could eat it every day. I love chili.
Oh, for real. So COVID, that means you fart a lot since you like chili. Because look, Kelly be mute my mic because I'll be farting and shit. Let me stop it, Bob.
No, Covert taught me how to build a website.
Yeah. No, Covert, he the go. He the go when it comes to that. OBS. I don't know that. I don't know shit. I start off on my fucking phone.
Yeah, well,
him for how long, Covert? Like 5 years?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 5 years, Kel. Exactly.
In the beginning, you would tell me stuff, and I would listen, and I think sometimes this shit is crazy. But why is the shit that you told me 5 years ago coming to fruition now?
I know, Kel. I don't want
an asshole because and I was like, oh my god, this guy. He's off his rocker, man. He's got too much information. What does he do? Oh my god, how does he survive?
But here's the thing too. What they don't know, Kelly, what everybody out there listening don't know, is that you and I have had many deep conversations privately too, because there's a whole other platform that you and I were on. You know, we used the Google Hangouts all the time. We used the Covert Radio Discord, Covert Radio Discord server. So, you know, Kelly and I have had, I mean, literally hours and days and months and months and months of conversations that it never even was heard by anybody else. So, you know, you're right, Kel. It's been 5 years. I think in April, I'd have to look, but I think April it'll be exactly 5 years. So, and out of those 5 years,
in the YouTube streets, because yesterday was our anniversary. We've been together for a year.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because you recommended me to.
No, he recommended you to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Recommended me to.
Because here's how it went, Mo, if I remember correctly. Like, Kelly was talking about something. Again, this is another back end conversation.
All right.
And, you know, a lot of times she would be like, well, Covert, where can I go to get more information, or who could I listen to? Suggest somebody that knows this stuff and then they talk about it. And you were one of the first people I gave her. I said, you got to go. Here's his channel. His name's Maurice Delk. He knows what he's talking about. And that's how it started. That's literally how it started.
And I seen it come into my chat room, and I started looking at her. Then she came with I hit that link. She hit the link and shit. First thing I said, girl, you got some pretty ass. Hey, how you doing? I did say that. I wasn't thirst trapping on her, but I said, you got some pretty ass. And I heard her gave her my number. My email, and then we talked. She called me like about an hour later. She texted me or something like that.
I'll be honest, I was blown away once I realized what happened. I'm still happy. I was just blown away. I didn't even think of location or anything. It wasn't based on anything like that.
I saw a 608 area code in Madison. Like, what the fuck? She lived like an hour from me.
It's
1 hour.
It's serendipity, dude. It's the universe, man. You know, how do we know we haven't done this 1,000 years ago and we're the same people doing it again? Because it doesn't feel new and it doesn't feel weird. It feels completely natural. And it's weird, dude. It's completely weird. I feel like I've known you for 1,000 years, dude. For real. Like, I really do. And Kelly's the same way. Like, I just feel like I've known her for eons, man. And, you know, even conversations like this, it just feels completely normal and natural. It's so weird, man. But then again, too, I could have a personality disorder. I don't know. No, I'm serious. It is. And it's crazy how it worked out. It had to be destiny. It had to be. There's no other, you know, you can't explain this. There's things you cannot explain.
She happened to live an hour from me.
That's crazy, dude. Like I said, I didn't even know that. I thought you were from New York or something. Like, I had no idea, you know, the location was. Like, I had no idea at all. Because
the thing is, when me and Kelly started talking for them days, I was never like, hey baby, when are you gonna let me hit that? I wasn't thirst trapping on her. I thought she was just a friend. We was just cool. You know, because I don't come at women like that. You know what I'm saying? But we was all cool, and then I'm coming visit you. I thought she would come and visit as a friend. And then the first time she came and visit. Huh? Now, I ain't going to read the details. I'm a sugarcoat a little bit. First time I met her, face to face, I gave her a kiss on the lip. That's it. I'm like, why did I do that? I thought you were going to slap me. and I did it. That was it. I'm gonna leave it as that. Unless you're like, don't tell the whole detail. All right, I won't tell the whole detail.
I'm still convinced, Kelly, that you're like cousins or something with Chanel West Coast, because I don't know, you and Chanel West Coast look a lot alike. Your mannerisms, like you have to be distant cousins or something.
That fucking laugh annoys the shit out of me.
I know. Yeah, her laugh is that's the other thing about YouTube I've noticed. I'm glad you brought that up. Like YouTube is also being infiltrated. Like, do you know how many people have podcasts and YouTube like like Drew Barrymore needs to go to YouTube to have a show. Like, it's just everybody is coming to YouTube now. And I covered this a few years ago. I go periodically to the government's labor and statistics website, and I look up certain things, but there's always a chart that they have that shows, the average American male, the average American female, age ranges and whatever. And each of the charts, the pie chart, breaks down your 24 hours of a day. And, you do this for 3 hours on average. You work for 8 to 10 hours on average. You do this, you eat, you sleep. Okay. Everything is included. Leisure time. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Our leisure time is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I'm going to have to look to see how much it changed since C-19 and all this lockdown and everybody's home now, because I know our leisure time has gone up substantially. However, again, in step with everything else that's going on, to suck up our leisure time, we've also been introduced to Netflix and Hulu and Peacock, and YouTube's trying to be the next Netflix, and all these people, celebrities, have their own YouTube channels and streaming, and this one has a Netflix show, and this comedian, and this and this and this and that. We are literal needles in haystacks, and that's everybody listening. That's why it's so important to share links, share videos, share Mo's channel, share my channel, share it all, because everybody's being drowned out. And eventually it's going to be, the nobodies of the earth are going to be in some crazy algorithmic prison somewhere on YouTube.
Exactly.
And the rest of YouTube is going to be kitten videos and, Ice Poseidon and, just all these people that are towing the line. They're drowning us out. They're hiding us. They're shadow banning us. That's right now. Can you imagine what it's going to be in another year to 2 years? I mean, we have to try to stay strong. I mean, make content, share content, make it, share it. You know what's weird? I've lost about 40 to 50 subs every 2 to 3 weeks. I lose exactly 10 subs. 2 to 3 weeks, I lose 10 subs. 2 to 3 weeks, I lose 10 subs. Like, it just keeps going down and down and down. I'm like, why would 10 people unsubscribe from me each time in a sequence of 2 weeks? So they're actually they're taking my channel subscriptions away from me.
Yeah, dude, I lose 10 subs a day. And then I gain 10 subs back the next day. I know the games that they play. Come on, 10. I lose 10. I gain 10. Come on, they keep at a standstill. So I know how I go.
So that's why we got to share links, share each other's stuff, man, and keep networking and build the strong network. And we got, Mo, we got to protect what you've built, what we're building, what everybody here that is like-minded, from people who want to infiltrate and just flip this about race or flip this about, I mean, I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm not saying there are real issues. Absolutely there are. But at the same time, there is never going to be an answer for a racist. It's never going to be reality. Like, Malcolm X wanted, a black state, a whole section of America just for black people. I mean, and that is the beginning of the real problems. So that's the level of racism that people have already put out in the open. Just be like, okay, take Texas and, whatever, Texas and Arizona, and put a border wall around it, and only melanated people can live there. Like, even that is not going to be good enough for these racists, because then it's going to be, well, we want better trade deals, we want better importing, it's just never going to end. So why spend your life focused on race? Get over it. There's people with melanin, there's people without, there's people that are blind, there's people that are fat. Like, just get over it and treat people for who they are and how they treat you.
Covert, shouldn't we say that though? If we're gonna say that about race, shouldn't we say that about political parties too?
I agree because it's not real, Kel. It's just not. Political parties is only there to control us and keep us divided so that you can say, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. I'm not saying that it didn't exist at one point in time, but when we've replaced the gold standard and we've got removed from it and they replace God with pieces of paper, it doesn't matter who's what anymore because money will control it all. So I agree with you. There is no, listen, the reality of Democratic and Democrat and Republican is it's just not real. It's only exists on paper. It only exists on paper because at the end of the day, if we all would sit down, and I'm saying us down here, if you take 5 Antifa, you take 5 people that want communism, and you take 5 conservatives, and we all sit around a table and say, forget your affiliation. What do you want in the next year? What is important to you, your family, your health, your job, your income? What do you want? I want this, 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 and this. What do you want? This, this, this. What do you want? This, this, this. If you take all 15 of those people, over 90% of what people want is the same. It's all the same. We basically want the same things.
Right.
And if you don't want those same things, you don't belong here. You either need to be, could you imagine somebody at that table? I want to kill everybody I see. I just want to walk down the street with a baseball bat. Like, okay, then you don't belong. You belong in an institution. You don't, you know what I mean? You don't belong here. You need to go somewhere else because we don't walk down the streets with baseball bats. Like, we don't want that. I want my kids to play on that street. I want my grandma to walk down that street. Okay. So, that's what we ultimately need. Forget Democrat, forget Republican, forget all of it. It's not real. Because at the end of the day, if we really take down what we really want and what's really important, we're all gonna connect. And they have to keep that separate at all cost. That's why they infuse race. That's why they infuse this, anti-Semitism, politics, political affiliation, aliens, not aliens, Earth is flat, it's not flat. Like, it's just the division. I like country music. I like house music. I like this. I like that.
What you know about house music, man? I'm from Chicago. You ain't from Chicago. What you know about house music, my nigga?
A little.
Jack your body, yeah, I'm from Chicago, man. Nigga.
What you know about music?
What you know about house music? I'm from Chicago. What you know about Chicago?
Music, period.
No, I already. I'm fucking.
What have you been affiliated with?
I'll tell you a true story. Honest to God, I would never swear to God for anybody's benefit. But just so you know this, Mo, I was in Big Daddy's house is what it's called in New York City. It's called Big Daddy's house.
Okay,
It's on the 58th floor. I touched the same door Biggie Smalls did. I touched the same elevator that Puffy touched. I walked down the same hallway that they've all walked down. Black Rob, all of them, dude. The street lights, the brushed steel on the side. So that's my level of involvement over the last 25 years in music. So I know about house, you know what I mean, dude? I publish music. I have certain things. I write music, like, so, I produced people and things like that. I have signed artists, people that have been signed to deals from music that I've created. And, I've had traffic affiliates like with In Grooves and certain companies like that who shop music for commercials and jingles and, things like that. So, I know a lot about music in the music industry, dude. And that's a whole other ball of just control and the people that control it and how that music controls reality. And just to show you how demoralized we are, do you want your little girl to sit in the backseat of your car singing about her WAP? Do you want that? Like, is that really where we're going as a country? We want to sing about WAP, and we want to talk about, it's so burnt into my brain. Like, whips and chains excite me, but the smell of sex and all this shit, like, this is what they're playing on the radio. This isn't music I bought. This didn't come with a parental advisory. This is on a radio station that I tuned in. And this is what they're force feeding our children. So topple that onto the pornography, topple that onto every other immoral and deviant act that they're trying to destroy us with, destroy our soul, literally destroy your soul, destroy your mind. It all is ran by the same people. It's all ran, under the same guise of normality, and they're trying to make us believe it's normal. Like Caitlyn Jenner is the most beautiful woman that year, whatever year she came out, he came out, whatever. That's the. I have a word for it, and I'm going to buy the trademark. I already have the paperwork. I call that sane shaming. SANE. Shaming, SHAMING. It's sane shaming. They're trying to make us ashamed because we are sane and moral. It's sane shaming. Don't tell me that is the most beautiful woman of the year, because that is not a woman. And I don't care who's offended. I don't care what you're saying. I don't care what guy is going to stand 6'5", 300 pounds in high heels with a 30 hertz octave voice screaming, "You will refer to me as ma'am." It's not going to happen. You're not going to attack my sanity. You're not going to attack my sanity, because guess what? The reason why you believe it's real and sane is because the same people, the enchantress who control Medea, are telling you it's real, and they're telling you it's okay. It's not. That's why we have to keep talking and congregating. That's why they shut our churches down. That's why we can't do anything like come together in a spiritual manner. They're limiting everything to bring us so far away from morality and righteousness that we will be groveling, dude. Some of the most deviant art collected by these people are man pigs and these demonic looking, like just nasty demonic beings. These billionaires fill their houses with this art. Look at the Podesta brothers, if you think I'm kidding. John Podesta's brother, who was Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, John Podesta was, but his brother, both of them are into this like child level porno type art, where they have, it's just crazy. And they were featured in like New York Architecture magazine. John Podesta and the Podesta brothers have a taste for a certain type of art. The art is abuse of children. The art is people with their backs broken. Like, it is just a completely backwards, immoral, sadistic, evil, satanic, occultic society that they're trying to normalize through Medea. They're trying to change our frequencies. And you can turn the radio all you want, but eventually that frequency comes in and you're going to hear it. It's the same thing with the spoken word and with the hope and the not consenting with it. We have our frequency too. And we have to share our frequency, because their frequency, they're trying to drown us out.
Yes, they're trying to drown us out. They want to drown out the truth. They want to drown out the behind the scenes shit. You dick. And we have to we have to be there. We have to be that voice. We have to be that standout. You know that standout. We got to stand out. Go ahead, bro.
And we have to support each other, man. We have to help, because don't be sane shamed. Don't believe that, oh, well, you can't think like that. Like that one communist meeting they had, it was all over YouTube. It was, this guy gets up and he's like, Joe Blow, he, him, I would ask that you do not use certain pronouns as to offend. And please, could we please keep the chatter down to a minimum? There are some of us here that are easily triggered and blah, 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 blah.
Sure.
Yes, comrade. Yes, we will certainly. This is Bill Blow and he him. Like, shut up! You're crazy.
Like, shut the fuck up.
They're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to make us believe we're crazy. But you're going to stand in front of an auditorium full of communists and talk about, "Hi, I'm Jim Blim. He, him, and please use pronoun. Like, refrain from using certain sounds and pronoun. Like, what are you talking about? You're insane. You're insane, and you're not going to sane shame me and try to convince me that I'm fucking crazy. You're not going to do it because that's why we need to support each other.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Each other.
Nobody wants to leave YouTube. They're all stuck here.
Yeah, they stuck here, you know. But Hollywood's fucked up because now they're shutting out shit. They're shutting out sport. They're shutting down this. Now the people running to YouTube right now.
It's all the same people.
Tyreek the shit. I call Tyreek the shit.
I can't stand that dude, man. He's another.
I said it.
Again, he's allowed to have his platform as well. You know what I mean? It's nothing but pure hateful racism, and it's blame Whitey and don't look at the dude. I said that years ago about I said that Tariq Nasheed, people like him, Sotomayor, Umar Johnson, they're all paid to hide the real enemy, and I'm talking about the real enemy. Not who they want people to believe the enemy is. We're talking the people who control the prison system, the private prison system, the for-profit prison system. If you're not going to prison, then nobody's making money. So how do we get more people to go to prison? It's no different than trying to get people to go into your burger store and eat your burgers. You have to convince and monitor and manipulate and advertise. You have to get people hungry for your burgers to come into your burger. It's the same thing with the prison system. You have to manipulate, control. You have to convince and convey judges and all this shit to get people to come to your prison. We're the most incarcerated people on the planet, and the black men make up the vast majority of that. And again, that's nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun.
Go ahead,
bro. The riots and the racial problems in this country have been going on. This country didn't know 20 years of peace. If you think I'm lying, look it up for yourself. In 1776, this country was born. The first disruption, the first riot, the first disobedience, civil disobedience started in 1783. That is the first one since the inception of the United States of America. 1783 was the first issue, and it's never stopped. This country never knew not even 10 years of peace. It's never happened. There is always something to gain for other people to create discord, to create disharmony, to cause disruption, to cause division, dangerous manipulation. It's all controlled by the same people. And the problem is there are factions now of this family and this family and this family and this family, and all of them are vying for control. But the problem is they've all made an agreement, and they're like, okay, we're all going to share this pie. Now let's move forward. And that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at today.
That's where we at, and we better recognize that, man. Shit.
ID 2020, Agenda 2030. Please do all you can to investigate this. We're talking the digital ID. So there'll never been an election problem like this again. If we all had a digital ID, they're selling it. They got to have us walk into their burger stand. They're selling it. The vaccinations, never get bit by bat, fucking whatever again. Okay, they're selling it. These people are Like the evil is almost like normal people can't relate to their level of evil. We just can't relate to the big picture. We can't relate to the manipulation. These are centuries of the same families over and over and over again in control, changing, guiding, moving, showing, and just connecting the dots. And we're the ones down here. We're the only ones that can stop this. But I'm sad to tell you, I'm sad to say this, that I don't think it's going to stop at this point. I just don't. Unless we seriously start trying to grab the wheel, like right now today.
Yes.
This quantum dot vaccine is what's coming next. It's an embedded tattoo. It's digital technology. They already have the patent, everything, and this is what's going to be the mark of the beast.
Okay, let me ask you something. When people try to apply for a job, even at McDonald's, I'm gonna use McDonald's for instance. You think they're gonna have to have vaccine just to work at a McDonald's job or Burger?
Within 10 years, and truthfully, Mo, they'll probably be within the first, say, they'll be within the first, because they're setting it up now. Like I talked about, Qantas is they're moving to require COVID vaccine for everybody who's going to fly international on their flight. Right after that, within months, maybe 2, maybe 3, every airline is going to follow suit. So then you can't fly. Okay, so that's out of the way. So then they start the media campaign. They've already started today. They said man dead after having medical emergency on United flight. And the United flight was diverted after a passenger suffered a medical emergency and died. He had what COVID-related symptoms. So now they're going to say, see, even on United, it's not safe. If he had the vaccine, this would have never have happened. So they're going to indoctrinate this way. And who deals with the public? People at McDonald's. So of course they're going to say, oh, Fauci's going to say, you know what? We found the hot spot. The hot spot is McDonald's. So everybody that goes to McDonald's, they're going to have the vaccine because it's spreading the most. They're going to start that. Subway, McDonald's, if you work with the public, gas station attendants, anywhere there's a high influx of people. At hospitals, caretakers, personal care home workers, they're going to go boom, 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 boom. And I'm sorry to say, for a lot of the people that might be in here that, Trump is their God, even Trump himself said, we have it ready to go. We have the military in full force. Like, we're ready. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That right there could have lost him the election. I mean, I know this is all, it's all fake and hijacked. But if we had a real election and his core voters, really got to have their votes counted and not manipulated, that alone could have lost him the entire election by talking like that, because none of Trump's real supporters ever want to hear the word military forcing vaccine, strong force ready to come to your house. Nobody wants to hear that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody wants to hear that. But he said it anyway, because he knows he has nothing to lose. He knows he's not going to change what happened. He read the script. He knows all of this mess is just a move to the digital identification, so it can never happen again. But to answer your question, Mo, yes. The people who work at McDonald's will need this because they deal with the public. That's how they're going to go about this. McDonald's can't make or they're going to do this. You cannot order from McDonald's unless you get the you can't come in and order. You can't come in and eat at the restaurant. You can't come in and sit down. Proof of, immunity papers, please. Proof of papers, proof of immunity. You can't go in unless you have that. But they could turn it and say you cannot work here with the public unless you have vaccines. So
exactly.
But at the same time, Mo, this is where the universal basic income, comes in the UBI, which is really what this stimulus money is. This is a pre-test run for the universal basic income, because you say, I do not want this vaccine. I'm allergic to peanuts, or whatever they're showing up now, something about peanuts, or it goes against my religious views, or whatever, however you can get out of it. People are going to say that. So they're going to say, that's fine, but you're not going to work at McDonald's. Then you say, well, what am I going to do? They'll say, don't worry, we have the universal basic income for you. So there you go. You're on digital, but you have to get the tattoo. You have to get that. You don't have to get the vaccine, but you have to get that mark if you want the UBI, because it's all digital. See how they have every angle covered, dude. How do we know this whole vaccine isn't just, oh, well, if you don't get that, then you have to get this? Choose whatever one you want. And if you ever want to manipulate somebody, you make them think they made the choice. But the problem is they're giving us the only choice. So there you have it. My opinion, yes, you will have to.
Yes.
You will have to have it if you're going to work at McDonald's.
Hey, Covert, have you ever been on a radio station before?
No.
I mean, you say you got a voice. I'm just saying.
Well, it's the plan, Mo. I really, that is my plan. Like, for real, I definitely, want to focus on this basically completely. This is I enjoy it. I feel that I'm a proponent. Like I said, I don't talk unless I know what I'm talking about. I've always been a fan of talk radio. However, I'm not going to be a regurgitator. I've never been that person. There are millions of people that will read you the news. If you want to listen to talk radio and have somebody read you the news, then go listen to them, because I'm not into that. I'm going to give you perceptions, opinions, discernment, and just and whatever. I don't I don't have it in me. Because truthfully, I can't watch the news. I can't pay attention. It ruins me. Like,
I've always been a radio person all my whole life. A radio person.
Mo, you have the voice. I've said that for years. You're the one. Listen, people see, this is when you have a voice. If you could stand in a dark room and read one sentence and somebody says, "Oh, that's Mo Reed's Delk," I could tell by his voice. then you have the radio voice, dude. And that's what you have.
It's crazy because I'm from Chicago. I'm a diehard Bulls fan, and people thought it was crazy because, Mo, are you gonna watch the Bulls game with me? I said, no, I'd rather listen to on the radio. I get more out of listening. I put my set on, I will listen to the whole Bulls game, Bears game, sports on the radio. I've always been like that, hockey on the radio.
That's so weird. Dude, that's so weird you said that. I swear to God, so do I. I don't like any of the baseball games I watch, or, I used to watch football, but not so much. Yeah. But I don't watch it. I listen to it on
get better out of it.
On News Talk. They'll broadcast the whole game. So that's when I've always liked to do that. Plus, I've always enjoyed like Coast to Coast and in shows like that ran all night long, like 4 or 5 hours. I've that's gotten me through so many nights because I work a lot at night too. So I'm busy. I don't, that's why I've told people that go to Covert Radio or they've listened to my stuff. I always tell them, I try to remind them that this is basically talk radio format. I don't really have anything for you to look at, but if I do, I'm going to tell you, take a look at your screen. Other than that, put me down, plug me in, turn me up, and go about your business. Do what you were doing, cook, clean, whatever you were doing, work on your quilt. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. Paint your picture, whatever you're doing, continue to do it and just listen. That's all. I mean, but again, they're changing the perception of it where, if you're not cammed up, a lot of people don't have the attention span. The young kids don't have it, dude. They have to be constantly flashy, flash. There's red. There's a red color. Looky. Like they don't. It's sad. Yeah, it's actually sad.
Very sad. Very sad. Yeah, damn. We hit the 2-hour mark over here.
Yeah, dude. I don't want to. Because I would like this to go go around. People might listen to it. There's a lot of great info in this. We both came up with some great stuff, and and to be honest, I don't even remember truthfully everything we just talked about. So
Either. Slow and low. BC Boy. Slow and low. That is the tempo. It's the tempo. We got to come on right here.
That's my biggest downfall in this, Mo, is I can't keep it short and sweet. And I know, and anybody that knows me will tell you that in real life, I cannot keep it short and sweet. I try and I want to, and I have intentions to, but the problem is I'm almost like an air compressor. And once you turn me on, there's 1,000 psi, and I can't stop it. I can't turn it off. And it just keeps coming and coming. And then I validate something I'm telling you. I'll validate it 3 or 4 times in 3 or 4 different ways. I'll give you 4 sources, 5, 6. I have nothing at all, any desire to sway, to manipulate, to misguide you, to lie to you. I have nothing. No.
Hey, you remind me I don't know if you follow her. Her name is Political Avenger. She don't do live stream. She just upload, but she got this voice like you. Y'all can do long stuff. It's just like y'all just do uploads and shit.
Yeah.
You got to check out Political Avenger.
I'm gonna write that down right now because I enjoy that. Dude.
Like Political Avenger, PA.
Like as soon as we're done here, which will be in a couple minutes because my voice is going, but as soon as I'm done, I have to go and work on some grave blankets, which I was telling you a little bit before we went live, but I go and I cut live pine and then I source it, I cut it all up and I cut the little branches up and I organize them into different sizes. And then I make these wire mesh out of chicken wire. I make a 30 inch by like 15-inch blanket pillow. And you puff it up and everything and you put more chicken wire inside. So it's all gnarly. And then you think of a design in your head and you create, like you kind of just start shoving in the pine and you create a design. It's called a grave blanket. And I'm making 3 of them this year. So, I want to get them on my family's graves before, Christmas. So that's what I'll do. I'll probably, go to my shop. I'll turn me on what we just talked about. I'll re-listen to it so I can remember, or I'll look up somebody like you just said, and I'll listen to, that's what I like to do. I don't have time to stand there and watch what you're saying. I'd rather listen to what you're saying. You know what I mean? That's just how I've always been. I'm just like that.
Right. Man. Oh, shit, this is lit tonight.
So political Avenger, you said her name was?
Yeah, Political Avenger. She's from she's from there, and and she said I'm a classical liberal and I'm queer, but she fuck with Trump. She just real. She real. You'll hear.
Dude, I at the end of the day, and if this was 100 years ago, I would identify with a political party. I would, I would say I'm either a classical liberal, because a big part of me is, or I would say that I'm a truly Christian conservative, which I'm more of that than anything. And that's why I love Candace Owens so much. And that's why I would drop everything I'm doing to campaign for her if she would ever decide to run, because she's for real. She's for real. And I agree.
Candace. Yeah.
I agree with a lot of her perspective.
I don't, but
with Candace Owens?
No, I don't agree with everything she say.
Well, I wouldn't say everything. I mean, I don't agree.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, not everything.
Look, you know what? I'll take that. I agree with half of the shit she say. So that's enough. If I was saying half of the shit.
Okay, let me rephrase that. I would campaign for her. I don't agree with everything she says, but the truth she has rung true with me. She has rung my level of truth multiple times. More
game though. She know how to play the fucking game.
Yeah, she's good, dude.
Look. Let me shut up before y'all. I lose a lot of you Trump supporters. Let me shut up. Let me shut up before y'all unsubscribe from me. I'm gonna leave that alone. Next.
Well, dude, like I said, I'd rather you lose a couple Trump supporters than get infiltrated by all these scumbags from the sector, and then they're going to chase you and your dog, if you have any kids, or they're going to chase down this and dox you doing this and call CYS for that. Believe me, I've lived this and I know how deranged these people are. The gunners and everybody he brings with him, dude, it's just a cesspool of evil, soulless beings that have nothing to lose. And they have no they have no um limit. They have no limit at all. They will literally swat you once a week. I mean, I've seen them do it, dude. I've seen them do it. So it's just I don't want you to be infiltrated by that, Mo. There's too many important things that are happening and things that you're way better than that, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know I'm better than that shit.
But and you got to realize their job is to get so far under your skin. You have to react. I get it.
That's why I let them get under my skin, so they can see this other skin right here. I mean, talk, because they actually can't hold me back.
The best thing to do, Mo, is not listen to it, because I mean, if I started right in the beginning, I would listen to these videos that had my name in it, and I quickly realized, oh my God, if I start chasing these, I would never, ever, 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 ever have time for anything else.
And see, I was a better rapper back then, and I see some shit, I'm going to retaliate and do a rap against you. I don't look at it as fucking serious shit. I go back and I'm going to fucking roast your ass. That's it.
Yeah, but these,
I look at it.
That's normal, Mo. I'm saying, yeah, and I agree with that. I'll roast anybody, but these people don't stop there. They're not happy till CYS is at your house, or the police are at your house, or dude, you don't even, I don't know, maybe you do know the shit they've done to True Freeman, man. Like, they had his house for sale. They used to put ads on Craigslist that says moving emergency, just walk right in, take anything you want. There was people in the summertime just walking straight through his gate, walking right into his house. And they know, the people that were doing this know that he's armed 24/7, dude. He sleeps with a gun on his hip. Like, this dude is always armed up, and he's waiting for somebody to mess with him. So they were putting Craigslist up that says, moving, walk right in, take whatever you need, first come, first serve. And like I said, people were just walking straight in his gate, walking straight in his house. And this went on and on and on. They found his landlord in Costa Rica. They tracked down his tax records. They were going to the courthouse. What's that?
No, I'm just saying, damn.
Yeah, they're just soulless demons, man. These people are nothing, nobody, nothings that have nothing to lose. They don't care, and they will never stop, man. You know what I call these people? They're weaponized autists. That's exactly what I call them, because the vast majority of them are young kids that are autistic, or they have Asperger's, or they're so vaccinated they can't even think straight anymore. But they're weaponized autists, and once you set them, like, all you got to do is point them in one direction, and they will not stop. And the sad part is, a bunch of them were pointed to True Freeman, and then they just went on and on and on and on, and then people like Sotomayor would reinforce it, fan the flames more and more and more. They went after his wife, they went after her job, they went after his son, they went after his kids, his grandkids, I mean, his house, his landlord, his property. Like, it just, dude, it never stopped. It just went on and on and on.
Mm-hmm. Until like the break of dawn. The beat don't stop till the break of dawn. Dun, 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 dun. Come on.
Right before we went live, I was listening to 6 minutes. 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Dougie Fresh, your own. Okay,
don't get me started. Okay.
What is that? The show?
The show, yeah, the show.
There it is.
Yeah,
all right, my brother. It was good talking, Mo. I appreciate you having me on. I wish I could make it quicker and shorter. Hopefully, somebody listening could cut this up and share some information that may ring true with you. We all got to raise our frequency. We have to reevaluate what's really happening. We got to step back from the magic black mirror and just and come together. And we got to, again, we have to manifest the reality that we want, not what they're handing us, not what they're manipulating us with, not what they're trying to make us buy or believe. We have to manifest the reality we want every morning, every night. You need to declare what you do not consent to. Visualize the future that you want, that we want, that we want for our children, our parents, our grandparents. Feel it so it's real. Think about it so it's given energy. Feel it. Put it in your heart. Bring it into your heart. Bring joy into your life. Don't focus on this fake sickness. Don't focus on this dredge of just hate and racism and sickness and disease and death and done and done. Stop. Shut it off. Walk away. Joy, joy, visualize, manifest. Forgive these people. These are the fallen ones. They do not understand because they can't relate to human emotion. They cannot relate to the human soul. This has to emit from you. Get rid. There is no darkness that can conquer righteous people. We do not consent. I love you guys. I appreciate the time. You guys take care. Have a good day. Mo, thanks for everything. Love you, Kel.
Brother. Yeah. All right. I'm getting a more Duck final thoughts. All right. Holla back, brother.
All right, bro. You have a good night, dude. Thanks.
You too, man. Anytime. Come back.
Thanks, man. Later.
Peace. All right. Let me